Hello friends, as you have read already from the title, this is a decluttering video. I take great care into curating my wardrobe, so I do not get to do a lot of these. Before I started rebuilding my wardrobe and also before I started really being mindful about curating what was in it. A decluttering video would basically be about like what I'm no longer wearing, but that's not really the case anymore. So I thought it would be interesting just to go over it, because whenever you're decluttering something from your wardrobe, there is a lesson to be learned there, and if you do not extract it, you are bound to more often than not repeat the same mistake again. And there are 7 articles of clothing that I will be decluttering. The first thing I am actually really upset and sad to be decluttering, and it is my Gap linen shirt. I've had this one for a couple of years now, and I have washed it so many times that it was quite soft, and I did actually absolutely love it. I do have one more linen shirt. That one is new and from H&M. Aside from this, that was the only white linen shirt I had for a while. Unfortunately, something happened in the washing machine of my building to make a few holes in the shirt. Don't really know exactly what happened, and actually the first time it happened, I didn't really notice. I just noticed that the shirt had a few holes in it, and I just sort of rounded it up to, I don't really know what I rounded up to. I was like, I wonder what had happened. And then I bought a few patches of the flower Edelweiss, that is like the national flower of Switzerland, and then I took it to the tailor and had him put those on where there was holes. And after that, it looked really cute. It was like a very personalized version of the shirt that I already love. And then I continued to wear it, and then unfortunately throwing it into the washer with a few other things, actually including my white Ralph Lauren shirt. Whatever happened in the washing machine happened again. And I will mention before this now, I'm definitely going to start putting many of my pieces into laundry bags. I should have done that already before, but I mean, I have washed my clothes for many years and I've never actually had some of it rip or anything like that, so I guess I never really thought about it outside of some specific pieces. But that is definitely going to change, or that is changing now, because that is just such a waste of clothes and money. So that's really a shame, but it happened again, and that was when I really realized, okay, like something has happened in the washer, because it absolutely ripped my Gap shirt apart, and I was really bothered by it because I just spent another $25 to have it like a tailor mend the holes with the patches that I had bought, and then right after that it broke again. Then obviously this one has broke, and I'm wearing it today actually for the video because I wanted to see if, now I'm straying, sorry. We'll take care of this later. I'm not gonna declutter that. But the Gap shirt is dead, and because I had just spent money mending it, of course then the cost per wear ended up being quite a lot more than what it would have if I hadn't done that. It ended up with a cost per wear of $2.11, which is not amazing. It could have been lower, but it's also not the end of the world, especially not for a white shirt. I mean, it's sad, but that is what it is. Then I am decluttering my short sleeve linen shirt from Everlane that I've had a couple of seasons now. I literally haven't worn it even once this entire season. I don't like the look. I prefer my long sleeved even on the hottest of days. So when I say decluttering this, I will, of course sell it on because it's still in perfect condition. I mean, it is a completely lovely linen shirt. It's just, it would be better served in someone else's wardrobe, so I will be putting that up for sale. And that's also sort of like a reason to be more mindful of what you're buying, and if you can, also buy things slower, because when things then leave your wardrobe, it's usually to give them like a new life. And I'm also not going to be in a rush to get rid of it, like sell it cheap in like my local thrift store or something like that. I will just like slowly be putting it up for sale to like give it a new life, and then hopefully get like a dignified price for it from someone who will actually appreciate it. And then sort of like in a similar manner, I am also going to sell in the exact same way my Reformation top in white linen with like the cute straps. The way it squeezes me in and the way that linen is quite rigid, I am just never ever comfortable in it. It is a summer top, but it's just not summery enough in the feel for me. And it really is such a shame because I actually tend to put it on quite a lot, hoping that I will leave wearing it, but I can literally tell that like I will start to like sweat, like I get like under boob sweat and just feel sort of like uncomfortable in it. The best thing I can really learn from this is that these more thicker and rigid fabrics, even though there is actually like some elastic in the back, but it's too thick for what I can endure through summer. So this one I will also be putting up for sale, and hopefully someone else will enjoy it way more than I have. Then I am decluttering a wrap skirt. I'm just gonna get into this like very shortly. I say decluttering it, but I will actually just confine it to my basement. I do have a small storage of things down in my basement that I haven't gotten rid of, and it's because for a couple of seasons ago, this wrap skirt carried me through absolutely every single day of the summer, just because I didn't have so many other things to wear. And there's something about it I just love, but still I do not wear it. So I am gonna part with it for like my regular wardrobe because there's no point in having it here. I think it's important to have like a designated space in your storage for things that you can't really wrap your head around letting go of for whatever reason. So I am gonna count it out from my wardrobe, like even though it is in my storage, I'm still gonna like remove it, and then should I ever start re-wearing it, which I'm not sure how and when that would happen, but then we're gonna talk about it till that time. Then I have another thing that I'm decluttering, and this is just like such a bother that I'm decluttering this, but it is my white cropped white leg jeans from Massimo Dutti. These jeans were absolutely perfect until I washed them the first time, and then since then I have done everything that I can to get them to keep a nice shape, but they do just absolutely crease into oblivion. I do not, by the way, tumble dry any of my clothing. My building doesn't even have a tumble dryer, but I've tried to like soften them with different like solutions. I've tried to steam them, of course that doesn't work, but then I've also tried to iron them like really hard. I figured this quite quickly, and it was such a shame. I really tried to continue to wear them, but it's not a great look. It doesn't look good when they look like this, and then I ended up keeping them around anyway because I wanted to have them until I found something to replace them, because I do absolutely love the look of them. But even then I found that I don't wear them, even though on those occasions where I would have liked to wear a better version of them, because they look so bad. So these I will also be decluttering, and because of everything that I just mentioned, I won't be selling them because they just look so awful, but I will be giving them to my local like thrift shop, and then they can do with it what they will. Then I'm decluttering something else. This is also another fast fashion piece. This is my blue and white striped mango linen shirt from the last summer season that I ended up wearing 10 days. And wearing this 10 days was a stretch because this also stopped looking good after its first wash. And this is also something where, like, when I mentioned this in my videos, or when I mentioned how awful this shirt looked so quickly, it upsets some people, and they seem to think that it's because I haven't taken good enough care of it, or that I'm expecting too much from a linen shirt. But for someone who has like quite a few linen shirts now, ranging from everything from like Mango to H&M, Massimo Dutti and Everlane, this was particularly in awful condition. And when I say awful condition, it's the same thing as the other two things that I mentioned, where it was almost as if it was made in a shape that the shirt doesn't want to be. And normally when you have like a button up, you will have this like double lined piece of fabric here where the buttons are, because if not, then as the fabric is pulling apart, it will start to just take a different shape and won't look as good. So that's something I hadn't noticed before that. I mean, having this shirt taught me that, because this mango shirt didn't have that double lined space. Whenever I would wear the shirt like this piece of fabric would get so stretched out, and it didn't matter how many times I ironed it, it just wanted to take on a completely, it wanted to stay in that shape of this part not being straight, and it really didn't look good. And then outside of that, the fabric was just like so flimsy, which it's interesting that I say that because the fabric on the linen shirt I have from H&M is also very thin, but it's not flimsy. It's quite sturdy in a sense, where it was almost as if, like, even though linen is supposed to be kind of rigid, the mango shirt wasn't. And that's how you end up with only wearing it 10 days. And that is such a waste, especially because I originally paid $50 for it. Then I did sell it in my like local thrift shop for $8. When I minus that from what I bought it for, it puts my cost per wear at $4.20. And again, like that is just like too high for something that you got to wear 10 times. It's just, I would have been better off just wearing my white linen shirt 10 more times and then waiting until I found something in better quality. But I will say at the time I didn't really know this. I didn't feel like I was really making a mistake. This was also before I swore off fast fashion. So I really had the best of intentions, but it's a great lesson that I take with me, or just build on the lessons that I already have, and then also keeping in mind that you always need a double line space for the buttons on button-ups like all the rest of my shirts have. So that sort of concludes everything. It's interesting to see how the things that just like deteriorated really quickly are literally all from fast fashion. The mango shirt, and then there's also the Massimo Dutti jeans. The Massimo Dutti jeans, they do really bother me because I do have some things from Massimo Dutti that I'm really pleased with that do hold up quite well, but it just means that like you can't consistently trust this brand to deliver. There are bound to be inconsistencies in quality, and that bothers me as someone who does want to add things from that store to my wardrobe. Then of course I have the Gap shirt. There's nothing wrong with the quality there. That was literally just a, yeah, whatever. And then the other things that are higher quality, like for example, the Everlane linen shirt, and then also the white linen top from Reformation. These of course are things that are actually truly in great quality, and then for whatever reason, they just didn't work in my wardrobe, and really hoping that someone else can get some joy out of them. So yeah, that was everything that I have been decluttering for a while, so just wanted to share. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.